Hello everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. In today's MTPredictor video, I'd like to have a look at a Forex example, in this case looking at the Australian dollar, US dollar. But as usual, we start with our risk disclaimer and remind you that all examples in these videos should be considered as hypothetical. No trades are actually taken, they're just shown for illustration and trading purposes only. Remind you there's a risk of loss in trading and investing. Put another way, all professional traders know and understand, but more importantly accept that losses can and will and do unfold. It doesn't matter what trading approach you have, there always will be losing trades. Right, the trade setup I want to look at is this TS4, W3 or Wave 3 trade setup that's unfolding here. This is on a 4-hour chart of the Australian dollar, US dollar. For those of you who are new to MTPredictor, you'll see we have automatic setups on our charts. We also have an MTP trend color-coded indicator, which is blue for up, red for down, and black for in the process of making a reversal. But we don't treat this as a black box system. In other words, we don't do 100% mechanical trading. The reason being is because over the last 33 years of experience that I've been following the markets, I've found that markets basically are random about half the time. In other words, about half the time there's no discernible pattern. It's just very difficult to try and get any good analysis. So the trick is only working with markets where there's a clear and clean large degree picture. So for this we go to the higher time frame chart. So if you're trading on a 4-hourly chart, it would probably mean going up to the daily chart. If you're trading on say a 3-minute E-mini chart, it would mean going to the 15-minute chart. If you're say trading daily stocks, it would mean to go out to the weekly. So what we do here is we go back to previous swing highs and swing lows. If I go back, you can see there's a pretty major high back in here in December. Do you see that one there? In fact, actually, if I go out to a weekly chart, it's even clearer. If I go to a weekly chart, you can see here it is even clearer. There's the last swing into the low. Is that pivot there. You can see it's fairly obvious on a chart. So what I'll do is I'll just take trading mode here and I'll jump back to a while ago and just show you how these are on the chart in advance. So now if I right mouse click here, I do decision point. Can you see how this level here, this is the one we're mainly looking at, our intermediate, our typical decision point level, not our maximum. This is the one we use mostly. It's on the chart in advance. So we were prepared literally months and months and months in advance before for this potential resistance level. If I turn trading mode off, you can see this is what the market's done. It's got up into this level and made a reversal at this level. If I go back to the daily chart, you can see there it is on the daily chart just nice and clearly. So it just makes it quite obvious. You can see there. So what we're doing now is when we come down to the time frame you're actually trading, what we do is we use this to gauge the large degree trend. So here you can see the market's gone up into this level and made a reversal. In other words, it's deemed that the large degree trend is now down off this resistance area. So that's why we wouldn't be looking to take this TS3 buy setup, we'll be looking for sell setups. There was a history triangle here. If I right mouse click do analysis, you can see that would have taken you into a short trade. You may have just been stopped out there or maybe not, but I'm going to assume that you were stopped out. If you were, it would have been a -1 hour loss. Losses can and do unfold, but the trick is using position sizing, the various numbers of lot contracts or shares, to keep your initial risk small and under control. In this case, less than 2% of a sample $20,000 account. You can set up different size accounts if you wish, to then vary the position sizing based on that. But the setup I want to look at is this one here. So can you see how the large degree trend is now down because we're coming off this higher time frame resistance area? That's why we're looking for sells. Our MTP trend agrees with that, being red or black, indicating the large degree trend is down. So now we right mouse click over the red sell bar, do analysis, and this gives us our potential trade. Remember again, our position sizing takes care of our number of lots in this case to keep our initial risk small and under control. And because this is a W3 or Wave 3 trade setup, the target we're looking for is the typical Wave 3 WPT, because we are assuming that this is now a Wave 3. We like these trade setups in MTPredictor because the Wave 3 is normally the strongest and longest in a completed 5-wave sequence, therefore represents normally the largest profit potential in relation to the smallest initial risk. That's why if the market gets down there, you can see it hasn't got there at the moment. It's just in a small corrective swing at the moment. If it gets there, then the profit would be approximately 9.5 times the initial risk. In other words, the profit's large in relation to the losses that unfold when you have losing trades. So this is a good trade setup that's in the process of unfolding, so we'll have to watch this over the next few days and weeks to see whether it does indeed carry on down or reverse back over and carry on down into the profit target. But hopefully this has been a good example to show how we use exactly the same approach on Forex charts by going to the higher time frame chart, looking to see whether the market is making a reversal at our anticipated or projected DP support and resistance zones. If it is, in other words, if the market is doing what we anticipate, we then deem the picture to be clear. We then look to take trades in that new trend direction. And in this case, coming off this resistance area, large new trend is down, therefore we'll be looking for sell setups. And as you can see, this TS4 W3 trade setup was found, and as such allowed you to enter a new short trade to take advantage as the Australian dollar has started to decline.